The girl that you really want. I know a lot of us, we're of the age where we should be married, we should have a family, and we should be economically stable. And that's one thing. A lot of us don't want to be in this position. We don't want to be in a position with no family, no children of our own, no wife, no not married, and economic turmoil. But sometimes things just happen or don't happen. But seeing that girl that you really, really wanted when you were younger, in high school, in college, or maybe you're on the street or something like that, and then seeing how, if you were younger, maybe if you would try to talk to her, maybe if you would have had that little boost of emotional confidence, instead of letting, the voices in your head talk you out of it, trying to talk to her, maybe life would have been different. I hear a lot of people complain, people email me talking about they like this girl in their class and they don't know how to approach her, or, she's always staring at her phone and things of that nature. Like if she's outside and they're walking to class, or, little breaks in between classes or whatever, and they don't know really what to say or what to do. And I say this, it sounds cliche, but follow your heart, follow your own intuition. Because sometimes your heart, you feel that little energy in your chest, that little synergy in your brain, and you just go up to the girl and just don't overthink it. Just talk. She's a human like you. She bleeds every month. You know what I mean? Pisses, shits, gets sick, throws up. It's a regular human being. She may be beautiful. You may have butterflies in your stomach when you see her, but it's still a regular human. And it's funny saying that at my age, but I make my videos for these youngsters so they won't fall into certain circumstances, But always go for it, man. You see a girl out there that's pretty, that's cute, or you want to talk to, go for it, for you youngsters. And don't let, even though we know the statistics, I know we all watch Rehab Room, we watch DBDR, we watch Savvy Guy, we watch Tawana, we watch, all the legends, Sent My Own Way, and many other legends. We watch them, and we watch other channels, Taylor the Fiend, all these other Manosphere channels, The Thinking Ape. We watch these channels and we and we see the truth right in front of our faces, and every single day when people interact, we see it. But I'm telling you right now, the older you get, the more difficult it gets to actually find a good girl in your life, especially if you're in economic turmoil, or you have psychotic or psychological issues, or you're just dealing with you're in a toxic environment, you're toxic everything, So when you're young, you're fresh, you're a teenager or your early 20s or mid 20s, make sure you go for it, man. You may get rejected. And some of us, some guys are just ugly. You know what I mean? It's just the truth. And you know how women are. Nowadays women don't fuck with ugly guys at all. And I guess it's always been like that. But, back in the days, like Attila the Hun's days, they didn't have any choice in those days. But nowadays in modern society, due to the proliferation of social media, girls got all types of choices. They can pick from literally hundreds or thousands of guys. That girl you're talking to in your class or trying to talk to, she can talk to some supermodel in Sweden, or some aspiring, some aspiring video cinematographer from England, or she can talk to, the next rapper coming up, or the next guy going to the NFL, the NBA, and it's like you can't compete with that, But at least try. And, the rejection is going to feel you. When you get that rejection, it's going to break you down, right? It's going to make you feel miserable. It's going to make you feel sad. You're going to be like, fuck this shit, right? But it's going to harden your heart. And for what's coming, the great economic collapse, and what I like to call the 2070 AI war, because I believe by the year 2070, AI is going to be so self-sufficient that it's going to start targeting and terminating humans. And it's going to turn to Terminator in real life. Skynet is already a real company, and it's going to lead to the flames of destruction, honestly. And it's going to be brutal, but having that right girl in your life can change everything. I know people be emailing me all the time talking about how lonely they are because they don't have, a certain female in their life, or they want this certain female. And another thing is you have to get around your looks max. The problem with a lot of females today is they always go outside their looks match. Like they may have sex with Chad one time and now that's their standard, a 9 or a 10. But if they mess with guys on their level, like 6s, 5s, and 7s, hell, even 4s, then there'll be a lot more love and a lot more unity. But that goes for guys as well. You can't be, sub 5 and think that you're going to get a 10 out of 10 supermodel, especially if you're not rich or you don't have any talents, attributes, or you don't have the inclination or propensity for talents, or you don't even have like a chance. And when you have a talent, you got to be around the right people, because you can be the best singer in the world, the best basketball player in the world. But if you're around people who don't want to see it, purposely don't want to see it, or don't want to see you succeed, whether it's your friends, whether it's anybody, because it happens. In the ancient world, you would see brothers kill each other all the time. When the king dies, and you would see like the older brother or the eldest, or the older brother is supposed to inherit the throne. He's the eldest, and then like the younger brother would make a plot. You know what I mean? Or hell, even the uncle across the land would make a plot and get rid of the eldest brother so they can fight for the throne. So you got to watch out for that as well. Sometimes the longest daggers is the daggers that are close to you. You have to be careful, because in real life, people see you a certain way. Like people that know you or see you in real life, they see you a certain way. But it's often the people that you've never met before that will show you the most love, But I get on here and I make my little videos. I just speak from the heart, man. And people hate it or love it. I'm not here to cause problems. This channel was never meant to be, my last channel that blew up wasn't meant to be. It's just my way of venting, It's either that or go ER. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. And for what I've been through in the last few months, it's very justified to go ER, honestly. I have every reason, But I got to keep on creating and keep my path clear, because you never know, man. Maybe one day somebody will hear my beats and my whole life change, and I go from zero to the hero or the villain, And people think that when I call myself the villain or whatever, that's bad. It's like, no, this is the way people perceive me and how they treat me, as a villain. So it's like, well, fuck it. I might as well be the black pill villain. And yeah, just make sure when you're young, I know if you're ugly or something like that, and you never had any type of, success when it comes to women like that. Maybe you're in your 25, in your early 30s, late 40, whatever your age is. It doesn't really matter, because this is affecting millions of men. And you don't have that girl you see your friends and they're all married, and you're like, damn, I want that. I want a wife, big house, kids, the dog in the backyard, the whole shebang. But for a lot of people, that's no longer the American dream. And always keep whatever, because what's going to get you through this, man, is having some type of hope. I know hope is cope in a lot of ways, but just it's so difficult, because I gotta be real, man. Some people, bro, are unfortunately probably never going to have that girl in their life that they really want, and they probably may just end up in isolation and desolation, and it's brutal. But people were telling me that they can't wait till the robot AI girls come out. I find that so funny. But in Japan, I think they already have something like that. They have like certain little bars and clubs where like there's like a robot girl greeter. I think that's freaking cool in a way. But it reminds me of that TV show called Westworld. That show called Westworld. I still haven't finished it. I stopped watching it years ago, but I remember I watched the first couple of seasons and I just kind of just forgot about it, until somebody was talking to me about it recently. And it sucks that people that are not the best looking or don't have, the most charming looks or whatever the heck, they're going to have to go to like AI robots and shit like that, which is horrible, because you need that human connection, especially of the opposite sex. You need that female as a man. That female can help strengthen you. As crazy as that sounds to some people. But having that right, not just any female, the right girl in your life, it will give you motivation, determination. It will give you some type of analyzation of your situation. If you get a beautiful girl in your life right now, you probably would start loving yourself. Probably start taking care of yourself. You probably would start thinking that you can do things that you probably never would have thought of. You know, I never thought in a million years that I would have a YouTube channel that blew up within a year. You know, I've had so many YouTube channels, but now they're all deleted because trolls go find other channels of me and they ban or they mass report it and just do weird shit, all because of my BP channel. And it's weird, because I'm just a regular average day Joe, honestly. But I know a lot of guys in this situation. They want that female. You know what I mean? They want that one girl in their life. And it's unfortunate that a lot of guys probably, just because they're ugly, you know what I mean, they're not going to be able to have that nice love, And I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were telling me how, pretty much a group of females pretty much was like coming up to them and laughing and teasing and dissing them, at school or whatever, and how that kind of made them feel like shit. And then, and it's just like, I understand, bro, but it sucks that, and this is like in college, so these are like quote unquote young adults, but it's still, someone told me this, they say high school never ends, and that's true. You have people in their 50s, that still have the high school mindset, oh, this guy's doing bad, I'm gonna tease him and talk shit about him. But the minute you blow up, the minute you have an inclination or a sensation of success, then watch how everything turns. Always keep your dreams and hope alive. That's something I'm gonna keep on preaching, because I want to see it'll be somebody in our community. Well, this community is a joke, the BP community. When you dox somebody like me, like who never wanted any problems, who just minds his business, when you come after me, one of the most cool, I'm the little dude, I call myself the Black Pill villain, but I'm one of the most coolest people on the planet. You know what I mean? I'm chill, you can talk to me. I understand, I have empathy, I have sympathy, So them to target me just shows you how this community, I mean, they targeted DBDR too, he was gone for a bit, they doxed him. And it's like, why would you do that to people who are speaking for you? If you can't articulate the things that we're going through in a proficient and efficient way, why would you do that? And some people I think deserve to stay stuck, while some of us deserve to elevate and accelerate and to manifest our destinies and dreams and ambitions. Whatever your situation is, man, if nobody believes in you, I believe in you, honestly. Because I know how it feels like, man, to be isolated, devastated. I just lost so many family members. I'm still in shock. I can't believe it. Like, I really can't. I'm like, what? It's hard to believe. Like, my mind still hasn't really understood it, It's like, this can't be real. These are people that I've seen every single day of my life, Every single day. I've seen them. I've talked to them. I spoke with them. I've eaten with them. I've shared, like, oh, here's a piece of this, like, little food that, sometimes, I'll get like, a ground lamb or bison or something like that. And my grandma at the time, she didn't like eating she said the bison, she didn't want to eat the bison because it had a hump on it. And I thought that was so funny. Like, she was just used to eating like, like regular stuff, like, hamburgers and stuff of that nature. So she didn't want to eat the bison because she called it a moose. And, it's funny, how older people get, you know what I mean? When they misname certain things. And I thought that was just so funny. And I'm looking back at it now, like, damn, that wasn't even that long ago. Show my grandma the bison and the ground lamb I used to get. And she's like, she ain't eating the lamb, or, she's like chicken and beef and stuff like that. Just little stuff like that I think about, man. And it hurts me, man, because it's like my grandmother, my aunties, both my aunties, my uncle, these are people I used to see every day, people I used to live with, All I want now, man, is success. And I wish success upon you guys as well, Hope you guys make it. I hope you guys keep your dreams alive. In this world, just know this, though. Problems are going to come your way. Problems that are outside your control, But you're going to have to focus. And you're going to have to dig deep. You guys see what I've been through, I was transparent as hell. Too transparent. It backfired on me. See, I was too real for the black pill. I was one of the realest and one of the realest black pillars there are out there. You know, transparent, clear, spoke from the heart, real. And that got me a big old loyal audience. You know what I mean? You know, it did. I mean, you see the numbers. And I ain't making this shit up. I mean, y'all all knew my old channel. I just had it a couple of months ago. I had to have my channel most of this year and last year, all last year. Y'all seen my channel go from 0 to 3,000 plus, hundreds of thousands of views. And right now, I've been at like, 5,000 subscribers. Easily. I've been at 5,000 and I probably in like a few more, maybe another year or so, I probably would have had 10,000 subscribers and kept going. Do you not know that with 10,000 subscribers and you start doing merchandise and shit on the side like that, you know what I mean? That can actually turn into a small business. That's what YouTube is. Let's be honest, man. I've known creators that had about 30,000 subscribers and they were making about 40 grand. You know, it wasn't just YouTube though. They had other shit popping up, like at least 40 to 50 grand a year just off of that because of all their other creative endeavors. And it's just interesting, man. But I thank you guys for, you know, listening and watching and all that stuff, man. You guys enjoy your weekend, man. Peace.